Welcome back to Talk About Strange. Man, I got a great program here for you today. We got another letter, another email in. I can't wait to share that with you. Wow, what a story that's going to be. I got a couple of big announcements here I want to make. Big announcements, and a couple announcements. Maybe they're big. You let me know. So I'm going to the Fox Sisters Cottage on Hydesville Road next week. I'm going to be doing an interview there, documentary style interview. We're going to have a look around. I'm going to get down to the bottom of some of the real facts behind the place. I have a very special connection with the Fox Cottage and a resident that was there. So I'm going to be sharing that with you as well. That's a really cool story. I think you're really going to enjoy it. And another thing is I've decided, because the channel's booming. I can't thank you guys enough for that. I'm getting a lot of followers, a lot of views, a lot of watch time. Hopefully that rain's not too loud. It started raining just as we got started here. So I decided to maybe start doing some products, t-shirts, cups. I have my Evolution of Production. That's my film studio, and cups, but I only got a couple of them. So if you want me to get some more stuff, I ordered the stuff to start making it. So I'm going to make my own shirts and cups, and that way we can all save some money on the products. And cups, tumblers, hats, bags, whatever. Let me know if that's the kind of stuff you'd be interested in. And I'll see what I can put together to start creating some of that stuff. So there's that. Okay, so that's my two biggest announcements I guess I got for you. So I want to get straight into the story. It's a little bit longer of a story. Here's some of my coffee here. So bear with me. I'll try to do justice to it. And again, I just want to say thank you all for watching and for subscribing. And I really appreciate it. So let's get back to that email. Okay, you ready? You're going to love this. Steve, my name is Jake, not from State Farm. I'm 58 years old and I live in Washington. I really enjoyed your stories and appreciate your style platform as a place for us to share our experiences. You seem very down to earth and non-judgmental. I appreciate that. That's why I decided to go ahead and let you share my story. However, I must remain anonymous for professional reasons. Okay? I really enjoyed Sarah's story the most. As far as I'm concerned, she's alive today because she froze and posed no threat to the creature. That skunk ape was Grandpa's best friend video came in at a close second. They seem to have created a special bond from the start. I'm not going to lie, the story moved me, and the fact that you got so choked up showed me just how much this all means to you. Yeah, I'm kind of a softie, I guess. I just wish that I'd had the same experience. Our story took place 6 years ago. My brother and I used to go camping 2 to 3 times a year, usually around a good fishing lake or river. We decided to try someplace different with the kids and went to Swift Reservoir, close to Swift Creek Outlet near Mount St. Helen, about 40 to 50 miles from the famous Ape Canyon. I'm sure you've heard of it. Yes. I want to look up I'm going to look that up again, but I believe that's I think that was in the 1800s, and the cabin was under attack by a group of Sasquatches or Bigfoots or whatever. Probably one of the biggest events I think we've had in our history. I think the beginning, if I'm not mistaken. Well, not the beginning, but Anyway, I digress. Yes, so I've heard of it. Like I said, I'm from Washington, and I heard a lot of stuff about Sasquatch encounters, but I never really bought into any of that stuff too much other than entertainment. That's kind of where I was. Part of me believed it, but part of me wondered if it's just a lot of entertainment, But We arrived at our spot on Friday afternoon, on time to set up camp, have a couple of beers, and relax. Everything was great. In the morning, we started off with some fishing, had breakfast, and went out for a hike. Got back, tossed a ball back and forth with our kids. We have both had boys the same age, about the same age. My boy, Jay Jr., was 10 at the time, and my nephew was 11 or 12. And just having a blast out there. It was getting towards evening when it all began to go downhill. First we heard someone way out in the distance screwing around, making those Bigfoot calls and you hear on TV, and hitting trees with something. At the time, my only concern was troublemakers coming around. Otherwise, whatever. My brother and I were both armed well enough to run off a couple of punks off for wild animal. Hope that rain's not too loud for this recording. At the time, my only concern was troublemakers coming around. Otherwise, whatever. My brother and I were both armed well enough to run off a couple of punks or a wild animal. Anyway, it stopped for about 2 hours, I guess. It was getting around 10 p.m. when we started hearing it again, but much closer. Like right in the woods, about 100 foot behind our camp. We told the boys to stay in the tents, and my brother and I threw some wood on the fire, grabbed our flashlights and guns again. As far as I was concerned, it was just punk kids screwing around. I didn't want anyone getting hurt. What I couldn't figure out was how they could run around those woods without flashlights. You would think you could at least see that. Dark woods, no flashlights. That'd make me wonder. My brother, an ex-Marine, says, wait here and I'll go scare them off. Of course, I said, bullshit. We better stay together. So he laughed at me and went anyway. Good brother. All right. Sounds like the courageous type. Give him that. All right. Where was I? So he just laughed at me and went anyway. But he agreed not to go in the woods. That's good. He just wanted to fire a couple rounds into the air so they knew he meant business and tell them to muck off. Glad you worded that like that. That was his word, muck off. I stayed to keep an eye on the boys, but could kind of still see him and his flashlight shining into the woods where the noises were coming from. He shouted, hey, we are trying to sleep, take it somewhere else. But that just made it worse. They started rapping trees and making noise in 3 or 4 different areas of the woods. At that point, yes, I was getting nervous. Okay, yeah, I was scared. Yeah, I don't blame you. Even if it is just some guys out there in the woods. That's enough to make you nervous. But more for the kids. So my brother fired his .45 in the air twice and hollered, hey, I'm serious, get the hell out of here now. At that point, everything got extremely quiet. I mean, ear-ringing quiet. My brother waited a bit and then turned to walk back. He got about halfway when I heard a thud and seen him fall forward. His flashlight flew out of his hand, so I'm sure his gun probably did too. I kind of thought he tripped, but something wasn't right about it, so I ran out to help him. He was dazed, almost unconscious, but he asked what the hell hit him. I didn't know until I went to get his flashlight and almost tripped on a small log about 6 to 8 inches thick and about 4 or 5 foot long. I'm assuming that's what hit him. I got him up to his feet and we were walking back when I heard my son scream. I ran for the tent as I fired a couple of shots in the air just in case someone was there. My brother was in pain but not far behind me. When I got to the tent, I noticed the zipper was half unzipped in the middle, so basically ripped open. Jay was fine, just really scared. I asked what happened and he confirmed that something pulled the tent open and was reaching in at him. I turned to my brother and he was staring out where we had just left, near the woods, and said, look, pointing his flashlight at what looked like a bear standing straight up like a human, at least 8 foot tall, walking back into the woods. Only it wasn't a bear we were looking at. We heard them calling out to each other as they got further away in the woods. But that was it. For some reason, they just left us alone after that. Later, when my son calmed down, he said a really big, hairy hand was reaching in at him. Needless to say, we packed up and got the hell out of there as fast as we could and haven't been back since. Probably never will. I think there are a lot of people out there that know what that was, and now we do too. I started researching a lot more about this stuff and came to the conclusion that they weren't after my brother and I. I think they're after our boys. I don't know why, but I'm glad that they decided to leave us alone. Somehow I think if they really wanted to hurt us, they could have. My brother's back was bruised pretty bad, and he had to get 5 stitches in the back of his head. We told the boys it was teenagers pulling a prank on us, at least until they got old enough to handle it better. In conclusion, I guess maybe they're just like us. Some are good, some are bad, some are really bad. Anyway, thanks again. I hope my story wasn't too long. I wish you the best of luck with your channel. Maybe someday we will see you on a TV show. Best regards, Jake. Told you. It's a good story. Wow. All right. So that was a little bit different than our other 2 encounters we had heard about here, Red, Sarah, and Grandpa. So yeah, Jake, yeah, thank you for sending that in. I greatly appreciate it. Learning really quick here that our friends out here watching, subscribing, appreciate it. We've had great feedback, wonderful people. You guys are fantastic. I really feel like I've become a part of a community of really good people. Everybody's so kind, and even the criticisms are kind. Not that there's any real criticisms. So I really appreciate that. Somebody mentioned that the sound was too low. I tried to speak up. Now I'm worried about the rain and everything. I do have a Sony M1 microphone hooked up to that. I have my Yeti. Yes, a Yeti mic. I know, cliche. But I have a Yeti mic. It's just here for show right now. This is for the podcast. I might hook it up and try it out sometime just to see what the sound is like on the camera. But back to you. So Jake, not from State Farm. Yeah, thank you for that. That's great. You guys are lucky that your boys are lucky. I mean, that they didn't get a hold of them. I mean, God only knows what might have happened. You hear about people turning up missing and stuff, and kids coming up missing all the time. So, I mean, you just never know, I suppose. But wow, what an experience that had to be. I hope you get back out there and go camping. I mean, it's just too much fun. Life is too short. So, I know that's scary and what happened, and you don't sound like the kind of guys that get scared real easy, but you should definitely still get back out there. Maybe not the same spot, but you should get back out there and go camping and enjoy yourself, because, like I said, life is too short. So, that's it for that story. Again, thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for all your comments. Keep them coming in. Keep the letters coming in. I really appreciate that, and I'm going to keep bringing them to you. Again, I'm planning on doing some. I like to write, so I'm planning on doing maybe some campfire tales or something to create like a regular program or a show that we can do on top of what this is, because this has just given me a lot of inspiration to do other things with the show, with the channel, and as long as you guys keep encouraging me, then I'll keep going. So thank you very much. Have a great day, great evening. We'll see you again real soon.